My name is Tyler. I'm just an average senior at a regular university, with an ordinary face and physique. I'm the type who might be glanced over in a yearbook with a "was this person even here?" On top of that, I'm a bit introverted. I do have social life, as a normal college student should. However, I have neither close friends nor a romantic partner. It's not so much that I don't have them, but rather, I don't see the point in having them. To me, having a best friend or a girlfriend feels like out of norm. I live alone in a one-bedroom apartment in New York, with visitors being rare, perhaps only door-to-door salespeople. While some might see this as lonely, I have no complaints about this low-stimulation life. I believed that these tranquil days were my identity. There's a reason I became this way. I'm influenced by my parents and my brother, who is 3 years older. My brother, Alex, was the epitome of perfection. Academically excellent, athletically gifted, and popular. He was flawless. With such a brother, it was inevitable for our parents to compare us. I was constantly reminded, "You're just average and such an ordinary child." There was a time when I thought, maybe I'm like the ugly duckling, and someday I'll become amazing like my brother. But cruelly, that never happened. And so, the ordinary me was born. Alex, on the other hand, graduated from a well-known university, which is naturally the most difficult to get into, and now works as a researcher at a pharmaceutical company. He's the definition of an elite. And according to him, he has a promising future. Have you had dinner? No, not yet, but I was thinking of grabbing something soon. Then let's eat together. I'm about to leave the office. It's okay, you must be tired, bro. What? Just come along. All right, fine. After hanging up, I let out a heavy sigh. This is the worst. Alex contacts me from time to time, but is not out of concern for his younger brother. Although I've described Alex as a perfect superhuman, in reality, he has one flaw. He has a foul mouth. Moreover, it's directed only at me. He adopts a condescending attitude only towards me. Growing up, I was constantly compared to him by our parents, with comments like, "Your brother is amazing. Such a difference from the ordinary Tyler." It seems I've been ingrained in Alex's mind as someone he can look down upon. I checked the time. Guess I should get going. The sighs wouldn't stop. I took only my wallet and phone and headed to Alex's place. Alex also lives alone, in a place within walking distance from my apartment. Unlike my 20-year-old student apartment, Alex lives in a spacious and clean designer condo. I used my duplicate key to enter. And as usual, I began preparing dinner. The reason why he invites me over for dinner is to have me prepare the meal. And he always comes home just as everything is ready. "Hey, Mr. Average, what's for dinner tonight?" As Alex says this, he makes his usual "I've worked hard as an elite professional today" face and heads to the dining table as he should. Honestly, I didn't want to have anything to do with him. Every time I interact with Alex, I feel like my self-confidence is being mercilessly chipped away. Why are you so different from me? When he's had a bit to drink, Alex always spouts this line. "Hey, what's it like being average? I'd like to experience it just once." Haha. Each time, I could only force a pained smile, biting my back teeth together. How many times I wanted to talk back. How many times I wanted to rebel. But I knew I would be argued down, and resorting to violence would be futile against my stronger brother. I may not be as smart as him, but I understand that much. In every aspect, I am inferior to him, and compared to him, I must be just average, an ordinary person. Unfortunately, this is an unchangeable fact. I hate him, but I despise my parents even more. It wouldn't be an exaggeration to say I loathe them. Why can't you be as good as Alex? "Are you really brothers? Whatever you do is just mediocre," they would often say. It was inevitable. The more apparent the difference between Alex and me became, the more my parents doted on him, and the less space there was for me. Both my father and mother had a completely different look in their eyes when they saw me compared to when they saw Alex. That alone was enough to hurt my heart. I was so thoroughly ridiculed as just an ordinary kid, just an average kid, that I couldn't even muster the spirit to work hard and prove Alex and parents wrong. The only thing I learned from my parents was how to endure. I'm in my senior year of college. Becoming a working adult might free me from the chains of Alex and parents. Or so I thought, but there was a major problem. Job hunting. There are only a few months left until graduation. Yet, no good news has come my way. I applied to notable companies, but perhaps my introverted nature seeped through. Even if I passed the document screening, I would be rejected at the interview stage. I'll be ridiculed again. Looking at the relentless emails saying, "We regret to inform you that we have decided not to move forward with your application," I sighed. Will I not be able to turn things around once I work? Is it because I'm from a normal university that I'm facing these hurdles? I may be one of the few who hasn't secured a job yet. Such thoughts only deepen my gloom. With my self-esteem crushed by my parents and brother, I have no future dreams. I used to have dreams when I was little. I suddenly remember my younger self. Back when the difference between Alex and me wasn't so pronounced, and I could play freely. The memory is hazy, and I can't recall it clearly, but I told someone, "I'm going to be someone who can make the person I love happy." I, still a child, boldly declared something so presumptuous. Probably inspired by something I saw on TV. I remember feeling embarrassed about saying something so cringeworthy. That energy from back then is something I no longer have. I gaze up at the ceiling. The confines of this small room reflect my current state of mind. Will the day come when I can leave this place behind? Thinking about it made me sad. One day, I got a call from my dad. Assuming he'd just make snide remarks about me not having a job yet, I ignored it for a while, but the missed calls piled up like crazy. Reluctantly, I answered the phone. "I need a favor from you." A favor? I was taken aback by the word favor. My dad asking me for help was unheard of in my lifetime. But he didn't sound like he was joking. "You're an adult now, so I'll tell you straight up, we're in debt." What? $100,000. $100,000. It's for your college tuition and mom's hospital bills. What? Indeed, my parents are paying for my tuition. While doing so, they grumble quite a bit. But what does $100,000 debt mean? My dad had a steady job, and I don't recall any talk of financial troubles when I lived at home. If anything, we lived quite comfortably. Above all, I couldn't make sense of the hospital bills for my mom. Explain everything from the beginning. What's this about mom's hospital bills? Yay, about that. According to my dad, my mom had a chronic illness. She started feeling unwell around the time I entered college and had been in and out of the hospital. There were times when my parents would be away from home for a few days while I was living there, which apparently had to do with my mom's illness. I had no idea. "Well, we never told you," my dad said matter-of-factly. It seemed less about not wanting to worry me and more about thinking I didn't need to know. Learning that I was excluded from a major family issue made my heart sink. But my dad, oblivious to my feelings, unilaterally said what he wanted to say. So, contact Alex and listen to what he has to say. Huh, what is he coming up in this? Just hurry up and call him or go see him. This makes no sense. You're the one who called me with a favor, right? That's why I'm asking you to listen to what Alex has to say. Is this about solving the debt issue, or is it about Mom's illness? Hey, I'm counting on you. Without answering my questions, my dad just hung up. This situation was so absurd, I couldn't keep up. What the hell is this? Frustration coursed through me. Grinding my teeth, I contacted Alex. Hey, have you secured a job yet? As soon as I called him, he hit me with the question I was dreading the most. As I fell silent, not knowing how to respond, he snorted and said, as I expected, "Did Dad tell you about the $100,000 debt?" "Yeah, I heard. My boss, President Thompson, has a daughter who's looking for a partner, and I recommended you." "What?" "If you marry her, they'll take care of the $100,000 debt." Huh? Things were starting to make sense. My parents and brother planned to use me as a scapegoat to wipe out the $100,000 debt. If she is the daughter of the president of your company, why don't you marry her? That way, you could become the president of that company in the future. I can do it. Why not? I already have a girlfriend. I couldn't argue with that. But why would Alex pass up such a great opportunity to me? Is it because by me becoming part of Mr. Thompson's family, he plans to take over the company from the inside? I can't shake the feeling there's a catch. But I'm just an ordinary college student without a job offer. I don't think I'm a match for a president's daughter. It's fine. They saw your photo and liked you. Maybe they have a thing for your average face. Haha. I could hear Alex's mocking laughter. On top of taking care of the $100,000 debt, there's a marriage proposal with the president's daughter. And all this for me, an ordinary guy even without a job offer. There's definitely something going on. I had a gut feeling. I should clearly refuse it. Just as I was about to voice my thoughts, as if he had seen it coming, Alex said in a strong tone, "You understand, right? Don't embarrass me. Here's a perfect chance for you, Mr. Ordinary and Average, to repay our parents. Try to be useful for once." It seems my opinion was never considered from the start. The call had already ended. A sudden $100,000 debt and a marriage proposal with the president's daughter. My mind was about to explode. Had my parents and brother made such plans behind my back? What do they think of my future? Utterly distasteful. Yet, part of me thought, maybe this is an opportunity. If I could owe my parents and brother, I might gain the upper hand in the future. Though I hated to play into their hands, I decided to accept the marriage proposal. After all, she's a president's daughter. She might be a talented and beautiful woman. I chose to see it positively. Seriously. Upon meeting my prospective partner, I was disappointed. Her name was Emily. She seemed kind and well-mannered as the daughter of the president. But, to put it kindly, she wasn't exactly beautiful. She seemed to weigh at least 200 pounds. Every time she smiled warmly, her eyes disappeared under her facial fat and her chin wobbled. Next to Emily was her mother, Miss Thompson, a slender and beautiful woman. The difference in their appearances was so stark it made me doubt they were related. I guess it's no wonder she doesn't have a partner with looks like that. I thought bitterly to myself. I could see why Alex hadn't volunteered himself. "Tyler, am I not good enough for you?" Had my disappointment shown on my face for her to ask with such concern? No, it's not that. I don't want to force marriage on anyone. It's not what I truly want, Emily said with a look of sadness. Honestly, I wanted to refuse. But doing so would undoubtedly bring a storm of criticism from my parents and brother. Besides, this was a chance to put them in my debt. But the imposing presence of Emily was no small matter. Could I really spend my life with her? The more I looked at her, the more my anxiety grew. Since we've only just met, how about we live together for a month first? I desperately needed time to think. If we married and then quickly divorced, I'd surely face a backlash from my parents and brother. That makes sense. We should get to know each other first. Otherwise, it's too worrying. Emily's face brightened up instantly, and she agreed to my suggestion with enthusiasm. All right, if you are okay with it, let's do that. Thank you so much. I was relieved that my suggestion was accepted. Hey, Tyler, if you're still looking for a job, why not work at our company? Really, but I'm not a science major, and I don't know anything about pharmaceuticals. Our company isn't just about research like your brother does. Oh, right. Thank you for considering me. Could this also be a trap? However, as someone without a job offer, this was a golden opportunity. I accepted my future mother-in-law's offer somewhat recklessly. Upon graduating from university, I started living with Emily. As expected of a president's daughter's residence. It was a luxury property, far surpassing the condo where Alex lives. While it took some time to get used to Emily's large figure, she was perfect at cleaning and cooking. Contrary to my fears that she wouldn't be able to do any housework, she pleasantly surprised me. The lunches she prepares for me, waking up early, are delicious. She doesn't cut corners with frozen foods. Each dish is carefully crafted and packed. Having cooked dinner for Alex, I knew the effort that went into each dish. Despite likely being tired, she never complained and always sent me off with a bright smile, saying, "Have a great day at work." Thank you, always. Not at all. Above all, Emily was cheerful. Her presence is comforting. Perhaps it's because of the gloomy life I led before, but Emily's presence has begun to take on significant importance in my life. Welcome home. How was work today? Hello. You seem down today. I made a mistake at work. I'm not as capable as the others. What are you talking about, Tyler? You're still new. It's natural to make mistakes. Really? Exactly. Look, I've even prepared some snacks for us to enjoy, with drinks after dinner. Wow, that's great. If you have any work frustrations, I'm here to listen to everything, so go ahead and get changed first. Thanks. Not at all. I could share anything with Emily. I couldn't believe how I used to think I didn't need someone like her just a few months ago. Working alongside graduates from prestigious universities was both mentally and physically demanding. But it was Emily's brightness that kept me going. I turned back to Emily and said, The lunch you made today was delicious, thanks. I'm preparing dinner right now, you know." Embarrassed, Emily quickly retreated to the kitchen. After living with Emily for half a month, we were managing our life together without any issues. "Emily, look, the new release of the novel series you like is out." "Wow, thank you, Tyler. Are you going to read it too?" "I bought some comics for myself." What kind? Show me. It's a suspense story. You might like it too. Want to start from the first volume?" "Really? Awesome." Emily's cheerfulness. It reminded me of my first love, who had a similar brightness. She was called Emmy. A girl I met in the park when I was just starting elementary school. With her hair tied in two, she was so pretty that even as a child, I wanted to call her beautiful. Emmy and I could only meet at the park since we attended different schools. The limited time to see each other made my heart flutter even more. She was just like Emily, always smiling and very bright. But one day, her expression turned gloomy. When I asked, "What's wrong?" she said her father had passed away. I wanted to cheer up Emmy. I made funny faces and told silly jokes, trying my best to make her laugh. And when Emmy finally started to regain her cheerfulness, I'm moving away. "What?" "Tyler, Thank you for everything. I was really sad when my dad passed away, but you cheered me up, and that made me so happy. My first love ended abruptly. I looked over at Emily, reading comics beside me on the sofa. Emmy, couldn't be right. I shook my head. On the last day of our cohabitation, Emily said she had something important to discuss and showed me a photo in the living room. That. You remember this photo, right? I'm glad. I'm Emmy. The photo captured me clowning and Emmy laughing at me. Emily, with wide eyes, started to tell me a truth I never knew. I've always liked you, Tyler, but you know, your brother, Alex, actually, when you weren't around, he bullied me. What? My brother did. We were in first grade, and he was so much better as a fourth grader. I was terrified. Alex knew I liked you, and he didn't like that at all. That's unbelievable. Alex would say things like, Tyler doesn't like someone like you, or Tyler has someone else he likes, so give up, and he'd chase me, pull my hair, and even throw garbage at me. Eventually, when I got really scared and told my mom, we ended up moving. I didn't know. I had no idea. The joy of reuniting with Emmy was overshadowed by the painful truth Emily shared. I never knew such things had happened. I'm sorry I couldn't be there for you. I apologized sincerely. Emily shook her head at my apology. Because of you, Tyler, I was able to overcome my dad's death. But I really liked you, Tyler. That's why when I couldn't see you anymore after moving, I ended up eating too much. Emily said, patting her stomach. I thought you'd hate me for looking like this. That's not true. Over this month, living together, I've come to understand. I love you, Emily. Really? I nodded with full confidence. I see. Why are you crying, Emily? She wiped her tears, saying, It's happy tears, and then she said, I'm really happy now, Tyler. Thank you for keeping your promise from back then. Promise? You said, I'm going to be someone who can make the person I love happy. I hope we can stay together. I straightened up and looked her in the eyes, declaring, I'm going to make you even happier, Emily. I'll be looking forward to it. Emily smiled, truly happy. The wedding proceeded without a hitch, except for one thing. My brother, Alex. He got drunk at the reception and cornered me during the candle service, hurling insults. Marrying such a fatty, you're too brave, man. Just look at her in that dress. It's a disaster. You know, brides are supposed to look 30% more beautiful. She's wearing a dress, and look at her. No way. Naturally, not only Emily, but also the guests around him were taken aback. That's disappointing. You're smart, but you judge people by their appearance. Hey, Tyler, what did you just say? I said you're the lowest of the low. Even my usually confident brother was silenced by my unexpected retort. Emily, don't worry about what Alex says. I love you. If he says anything gay, I'll drive him away. Thank you. I held Emily's hand tightly, comforting her. Months later, as Emily and I were walking near our company, we ran into Alex. He was holding a fast food lunch, probably out for his lunch break. Spotting us, he approached with a smirk. Hey, Tyler, sick of your fat wife and already having an affair. Weren't you the one preaching at your wedding that people shouldn't judge by appearances? Look. As I was about to sigh and counter Alex, Emily stopped me. It seemed she wanted to speak for herself. She stepped forward boldly and glared at him. I'm Tyler's wife, Emily. What? No way. That's impossible. It seemed the harsh words Alex said at the reception had deeply hurt Emily, prompting her to dedicate herself to dieting. As a result, she transformed into a figure that could easily be mistaken for a model. And Alex, just so you know, I'm the Emmy you used to bully. No way. That can't be. I'm looking forward to seeing who you'll marry, Alex. She must be a beautiful person. J. Probably someone who's all looks and no substance, just like you. Emily and I proudly walked away, leaving my stunned brother behind. Marrying Emily led her mother to take care of the $100,000 debt. My parents were overjoyed and, getting a taste for it, started asking for money frequently. Your mom's condition worsened, and now the hospital bills are $50,000. Can you ask again if we can get help? Sensing something was off, I hired a private investigator. The shocking truth was revealed. Neither the original $100,000 debt nor the new $50,000 were for my mother's medical expenses. Don't mess with me. I know everything. Mom's sickness. You two have been gambling and racked up debt. Well, that's... You liars. If you need help, ask your beloved son, Alex. Don't ever contact me again. I'm cutting ties with you. Abandoned by me, my parents had no choice but to turn to Alex. They had borrowed from shady lenders, and the collection efforts reached Alex's workplace. As a result, Alex found it difficult to stay at the company and resigned. He left, harboring resentment towards me. I don't know, nor do I want to know, what became of my parents and brother. Meanwhile, my earnest work ethic, despite my ordinary intellect, was recognized, and Emily's mother even suggested I might one day take over the company. Have a good day. Here's your lunch. Thanks. I'll do my best. Though Emily's appearance changed dramatically, her bright and kind nature remained the same. My life is fulfilled both at work and home, and I am living very happily.